What's up, Raider Nation? I'm the Commish, coming to you live from Hardcore Challenge Live Studios, deep behind the enemy line. This is Raider Reaction. What's up, Nation? Sorry I am a few minutes late. I am always very, very punctual, and I'm on here at 10 o'clock sharp Eastern, 7 o'clock sharp Pacific, every single weeknight. As some of you may have noticed, I was absent yesterday from my normal slot on Monday night, and you know there must be a reason for that, because the Commish is here every weeknight, Monday through Friday. And then I'm on a little late today. Well, the reason I'm on a little late today is because I literally just came from the hospital, where one of the newest members of the Raider Nation was born. So I thought I would have a special guest today. Since, like I said, we just came from the hospital, where yesterday morning, newest member of the Raider Nation was born, Mr. Killian Cobain Klein. And he's hungry right now, so I'm going to give him back to his mama. So that's where I have been the last 2 days. I have a new baby boy, my third. So, we're starting all over. The Raider Nation grew by 1 yesterday morning. So, just thought I would share that with you. So, that's where I was yesterday. And that's why I was a couple minutes late today. And thank you for all the congratulations. I'm a very, very proud papa. Very proud papa. It has been a exciting couple days in the life of the Commish. So, I have not been with you since Friday. Thank you, Toe. Not been with you since Friday, and there is some juice in the Raider world. So tonight we are going to discuss the Vegas relocation, the Raider Nation All Raider Team recap, Marcus McWilson, Eddie Vanderdoes, Jackson and Osmele, the Commish's top Raider free agent signings of all time, the quarterback battle, the number 3 wide receiver battle, and we'll end the show like I do every time it's just the Commish with my WTH. Because something definitely made me say WTH for sure. So, let's get into it. There is new news on the front of the Vegas relocation. As I was saying, as you've heard me saying, I'm on the record as if they are not sticking shovels in the dirt right after the new year, that there is big trouble for the possibility of us being in the new stadium by 2020. Now, with 7 days out from the owners' meeting towards the end of the month, there's an owners' meeting on the 22nd and 23rd of this month. They need to approve the lease agreement for the new stadium. That agreement is not complete yet. So they are on the clock. 7 days. This owners group does not meet again until October. So it's not finished. Not just yet. We need the final approval on the 22nd, 23rd. So hopefully, Michael, everything, they got it all in order and they can get it nailed. Because like I'm saying, it's a go. I hope they get it done. Because like I said, everything's got to be ironed out because it has to have final approval by the owners at the owners meeting. So I hope they got everything done. I hope it's all done. So like I said, if they are not digging, if they are not breaking dirt, shortly after the first of the year, with the 30-month build that they already have this plan to be, which is a very aggressive timeline, very aggressive construction timeline, puts it opening basically right at when we need to hit to be able to play the 2020 season there. So if there's any slips, any bumps, any problems along the way, that date becomes in jeopardy. So, mark my words. Commish said, if they're not breaking dirt, shortly after the first of the year, shortly after we're all saying Happy New Year, if they're not breaking dirt, and there's not active construction going on that site, 2020 is in big jeopardy. Because every day they start missing after that, it's coming out of that 30-month timeline. And that's already a tight construction schedule. Very tight. So, it's very important. That's the next date. That's the next days you should mark on your calendar. May 22nd, May 23rd, when all this goes to the owners meeting to get all the final approvals, cross the T's, dot the I's. That's our next big step in the move. Cheers. Thank you, Terry. So, that's our next big move on the Vegas relocation. Is Michael says by December 21st. I hope you're right, Michael, because that means they're ahead of schedule. Oh, the Viking Stadium has all types of problems. Did you know that the Viking Stadium is killing over 60 birds a day? Because of the glass that they put on the outside of it, the birds can't see it. So they're literally murdering 60 plus birds a day. PETA's all up in arms about it. So yeah, there's lots of issues with the Viking Stadium. They're trying to keep that hush-hush and under the rug because they don't want you to know that there's mass homicide of all kinds of foul going on at the Vikings' new stadium. That's just one of the issues that they've been trying to sweep under the rugs. And I've heard rumors that the builders that built the Viking Stadium are the builders they're looking at to build the Raiders Stadium as well. So, interesting. Anthony's watching some basketball, watching the Warriors. Man, they pulled that out in that last one, so we'll see if they can do it again. I got a feeling that series is going to 7, so we'll see. It's the home of the Vikings. There's no banners going to be hanging in that new stadium. I can bet you that, Daniel. There will be no banners hanging in that new stadium. That is a for sure. That is a for sure. So, another little news on the Raiders front is there's been a little fire on the field from undrafted free agent Marcus McWilson. He has been signed. He is a 6 foot, 198-pound safety from Kentucky. We are continuing to add beef and build on the defense. This kid was a safety who played 41 games over 4 seasons at Kentucky. Had 173 tackles, 81 solo tackles, 4 interceptions, 4 passes defended, 1.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble, and 1 fumble recovery. This is one of those stories, up by 28 at the half. Ooh, ouch, that's nasty. That's looking like maybe a 2-0 lead for the Warriors there, 28 at half. Ooh, that's rough. That's rough. But Marcus McWilson he's one of them feel-good stories that you like to hear. Here's a kid that comes and tries out for rookie camp. Basically kind of like Najee Harris. Comes out, tries out for rookie camp. You know, he's got nothing to lose. So he knows he's going to come to camp and completely lay it on the line. Put everything out there. Do everything he can to make sure he makes his team. And he leaves with a contract. I mean, that's a feel-good story right there. Those are the kind of kids you want to have on your team. Those are the kind of players you want to have on your team. They got the fire in them, man. They'll come out there and do whatever they can. They know every day. I don't know if it's Super Bowl or bust, Alan, but we are straight going to the Super Bowl this season. I'm on the record as predicting us going to the Super Bowl. Derek Carr is going to win the MVP. He's going to lead us to the Super Bowl. And I think we got a hungry, hungry team. That's right. I love those I agree, Terry. I love those hungry kids that come in and, man, they're not there. They're not like Johnny Manziel and they're some, they're rich kids. These kids are coming in hungry. They're coming from small schools. No, this is their only chance. They just can't believe they even get an invite and can come try out at a rookie camp. And, man, how many yards for Beast Mode? I think Beast Mode just breaks 1,000. I don't think it's about yards for Beast Mode as it is much about impactful plays. I think Beast Mode is going to have a huge impact on the team. Whether that is a statistical impact, I'm not real positive that he's going to be that 15, 16, 1,700 yard rusher. I think he just hits 1,000 because he's got an incentive mark in his contract to hit 1,000. So I think he's just going to hit 1,000. I think that's too much, JD. I think that's being too hopeful. I don't think he's going to get the rock that enough to get the 1,600 yards. One, I think you're going to see a lot of Washington touches. I think you're going to see a lot of Richard touches, and a lot of those guys getting dumped the ball out of the backfield. I think Beast Mode's going to be more reserved for grinding out the clock, short yardage, inside the 5 inside the 10 when you're down going for the touchdown. I think he's going to be used to grind the clock, eat up clock in the second half after the Raiders have already gotten out to a lead. But I don't think he's going to get the touches to get the 1,600 yards. By God, I hope I'm wrong, and he does. But I don't think that's what they expect from him. That's 100 a game. I agree, but I don't know. There's a lot of yardage to get spread around on this team if you really stop and think about it. I mean, the weapons spread out across this offense. It's an amazing thing, and if we could throw a 1,600 yard rusher in the mix with that, oh my, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. That's one of those I hope I'm wrong on. That's one of those I definitely hope I'm wrong on because I'd love to see him get 1,600 yards, but I think he's going to get 1,000. Oh, Carr's going to for sure get over 4,000. And 30-plus touchdowns this year. I believe that is a fair prediction. Carr has been so close to hitting 4,000 yards the last 2 seasons. He's been within 100 yards the last 2 seasons of hitting. I think only like 30 yards short last year. And he's going to, if he hits 31 touchdowns this season, he will have the second best touchdown statistics in history, behind only Dan Marino. So, through 4 seasons. That's amazing company right there for a young kid like Mr. DC. Sky's the limit for that kid. And I'm predicting MVP this year. MVP. I think this is absolutely his season. Absolutely his season. Without a doubt. My Super Bowl prediction... Well, Alan, I'm going to hold that thought. My Super Bowl prediction is the Raiders are going to win the Super Bowl. Now, who they play against, I'm going to make you set on that for another day because we're touching on that with Prime and the Commish on Thursday this week because of my schedule shifting. We're going to do Prime and only one goes to the post this week, and that's going to be on Thursday. Prime's going to join me. We're going to break down all the league stuff. And we're also going to take our predictions of division champions and the wild cards from last week. And we're going to give you our full playoff predictions, Super Bowl matchup, and who we think is going to win. And I don't think it's the Cowboys. Jonathan, I do not think it's the Cowboys. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. 1,200 yards. We've got a 1,200 yards for Beast Mode. What's up, Leslie? So, for those of you that joined me on Friday night, had a special Black Friday edition of Raider Reaction. Now, on that Black Friday edition, we selected the Raider Reaction, Raider Nation, All Raider Team as selected by the Commish and a distinguished panel of members of the Raider Nation who were in attendance with me that evening. So, I just wanted to give you a quick rundown of the Raider Reaction, Raider Nation, All Raider team, thank you Leslie, All Raider team that was selected by the Commish and largely in help by the Raider Nation. So, the Raider Reaction, All Raider team that we selected on Friday has a defensive line of Lyle Alzado, Howie Long, bookend by Khalil Mack and Greg Townsend. That is the All Raider, Raider Nation All Raider defensive line. At the linebackers, we have Filippiano, middle linebacker. Holding down our outside linebackers, we have the Mad Stork, Ted Hendricks, and Rod Martin, Super Bowl MVP. At the corners, we got double 24s, Willie Brown and Charles Woodson. And at safety, we got the Soul Patrol, George Atkinson, and the Assassin, Jack Tatum. That was selected by the Commish with large help from the Raider Nation in attendance Friday. That is your Raider Reaction, Raider Nation, All Raider defense. Right there. Now on the offense, we had selected an offensive line anchored by Jim Otto. At the guards, we had Upshaw, Gene Upshaw, and Steve Wisniewski. At the tackle positions, we had Art Shell and Lincoln Kennedy. At tight end, we had the Ghost, Dave Casper. The wide receivers, the two greatest Raider wideouts ever, Tim Brown and Freddie Biletnikoff. At the fullback position, Steve Smith. At the running back position, Marcus Allen. And at quarterback, number 12, Kenny the Snake Stabler. That is your Raider Reaction, Raider Nation, All Raider team as selected on offense. I want some ice cream. What's up, Assassin Angel Eyes? So, that's your all offense team. Now, as special teams, we selected punt returner, Tim Brown, kick returner, Rocket Ishmael, punter, Ray Guy, kicker, George Blanda, also our backup quarterback. And of course, who else would coach a team of this caliber besides the coach, John Madden, as selected. So there is your Raider Reaction, Raider Nation, All Raider team as selected by you with only a little help from myself. I just want to touch on that again because that was fun. That was a good time. And digging into the history. Ooh, Cherry Garcia. I love Cherry Garcia. That is good stuff. That is good stuff. Love me some Ben & Jerry's. Love me some Ben & Jerry's. But that is the All Raider team that we put together. I am going to put that on something nice graphic, and I'm going to put that up on Oakland Raiders football page so that everybody that participated in that can share in the glory of the team that was put together. So, that was a tough discussion, JD, but we did end up going with Steve Smith. Everybody says he just fills holes. He just fills holes. So, hey, makes them, creates them. Now, another one of our rookies that we signed in the draft, picked up in the draft. He's the third rounder, was our 24th pick in the third round. That is Eddie Vanderdoes. Now, I don't know if you've heard this, but Vanderdoes comes from UCLA. And UCLA their terms are set up in quarters. So, the quarters are not going to be done until June 16th. Now, on June 16th, he is free to join the team. But what this causes for Mr. Vanderdoes is he is going to miss the mandatory mini camps that it goes from June 13th through the 15th. He's going to miss all of the OTAs. And the next time you will actually see him, thank you Amber, next time you will actually see him is in training camp in late July with the rest of the team. Now, there's modern technology nowadays, so he's been given an iPad. He's working out at UCLA. He's doing the drills, the same drills that they're doing in camp. He's trying to keep up with them. But the fact is, our number 3 pick isn't with the team right now. And he isn't with the rest of the rookies. He doesn't get to work out with the coaches. And as I like that he's working out and he's keeping his physical self about him and ready to go. I'm happy to see that, and hear that is going on, that he's keeping his physical body about him, but that's just a crazy rule. I agree, Terry. How do you have a rule like that? That's putting a hindrance on a kid like that. Well, Facebook has been giving me issues. I don't believe it's me, so... It's giving me issues the other day with the comments. It's driving me nuts. So, hopefully, Vanderdoes, when he comes, he's ready to go. It's unfortunate that he's not getting the work with the coaches, but as long as he's getting the physical workout and they are getting in the game plans, so it is what it is. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how much it affects him. Now, Vanderdoes, important guy on our defensive line. Now, a couple of guys who are huge on our offensive line is Gabe Jackson, Kelechi Osmele, who was on the top 100, NFL Network top 100. I do believe he was 95. Now, these two gentlemen, and I don't know if you know this, but there were only 4 guards in the league last season that did not allow a sack. You had Marshall Yanda from the Ravens, and you had Ramon Foster from the Steelers. And then you had Gabe Jackson and Kelechi Osmele from the Raiders. 2 out of the 4 guards in the entire league that did not allow a sack were on the Oakland Raiders. That is amazing. That is absolutely amazing right there. 2 out of the 4 are Raiders. Well, if they had less snaps than that, though, it shouldn't count. It should have that many. So it's a fair judgment. But that is a feat right there. That is a feat. Those two. So, well, it's unfortunate. I see there's some technical difficulties going out there for some, and that stinks. Now, I wanted to throw out another one of my top 10s. Obviously, I've been pitched a lot of these by Mr. Chris Lentz. Keep it on my list. And I'm going to give you one of those top 10s tonight. So tonight, since been thinking about the off season, thinking about our free agent signings. Obviously, we had the big free agent signing, Marshawn Lynch. Sup, Taz? Thank you. So, Marshawn Lynch, it's a big free agent signing. Pull him out of retirement. Got me thinking about what were the other big free agent signings in Raiders history. And if I went back and looked at those, how would I rank those and where would I put those? So, tonight, I'm going to give you the Commish's top 10 Raiders free agents of all time. Thank you, Leslie. So, and thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing, all you guys. I understand you're having some technical difficulties, but hopefully it's not everybody. So, but at least you'll be able to watch later. Osmele's an absolute beast. But these are the Commish's top 10 Raider free agents of all time. Will Marshawn Lynch be on this list in a year or two? We can only hope. We can only hope. But right now, looking at it, we're looking at a gentleman who joined the Raiders in 2005. Spent 4 seasons with the Raiders. In that time, collected 143 tackles, 38.5 sacks, 5 forced fumbles, and recovered 3. Was a Pro Bowler in 05, 06, and led the NFL with 16 sacks in 2005. Mr. Derek Burgess is the Commish's number 10 Raider free agent of all time. He's my number 10, Derek Burgess. Led the NFL with 16 sacks in 05. Unfortunately, the rest of the team wasn't stellar, but he had a great season. So, that's why he's number 10. It was a great pickup. Unfortunately, it was more of an individual effort, and the team just, the 05 team was not a stellar team, as was the 06 team. So, now, number 9. This guy was one of my personal favorites. He wore one of my favorite numbers of all time. Favorite Raiders numbers. He played 8 seasons for the Raiders after joining the team in 1999. And he'd rushed as a Raider for 1,232 yards, 35 touchdowns, and caught 1 touchdown during his time as an Oakland Raider. Like I said, we're one of my favorite numbers. Number 32, Zach Crockett. My number 9, Raiders free agent. Played a long time for the Raiders once we signed him. 8 seasons. Man, he was money in short yardage. Give him the rock if you need a yard, and he will get it 19 out of 20 times. Zach Crockett was a beast on short yardage. The snow game, the tuck bowl, the whatever the heck you want to call it, the raping in the snow. When there was an opportunity late in that 4th quarter, where it's 4th and short, and John Gruden decided not to give the ball to Zach Crockett. And that to this day still bugs me, because the tuck never would have happened if Gruden had as much faith in Zach Crockett as I did. And I still think, to this day, Zach Crockett gets that first down. He's my number 9. Free agent on the Commish. Top 10 Raiders free agents of all time. Number 8. Was drafted a Cowboy of all teams, but nobody remembers him as a Cowboy. He was drafted by the Cowboys in 78. Spent the majority of the 79 season as a Giant before joining the Oakland Raiders, where he caught 461 passes and 41 touchdowns, and the 4th leading receiver in Raider history the late, great Todd Christensen. Nobody thinks of him as a Cowboy or a Giant. Todd Christensen's always been a Raider, but he wasn't always. That's why he's number 8 on my All-Raider free agent countdown. Number 7 was also a Giant for a period of time. And then he too became a Raider. He was a Giant for 4 seasons. Joined the Raiders in 1999. Rushed for 3,682 yards and 32 touchdowns. Tyrone Wheatley is my number 7 on the Raiders top 10 free agent countdown. We got Winchester, California, Raider Ed representing. He's always hiding in the bushes. We got Natalie in Kansas. Terry's up in New York. I'm down in the Sunshine State. It was hot today. Oh my God, was it hot. Assassin Angel Eyes, Minnesota. Number 47, Nate. That's right. He is my number 7 on my top 10. Number 6. Played the majority of his career with the Steelers. Made a stop off the Ravens. Grabbed him a Super Bowl there. Thank you, Raider Natalie. And then he came to play with the Raiders. Rod Woodson. Thank you, Chuck. Rod Woodson. He's my number 6. I mean, what else do you need to say about Rod Woodson? I mean, he's still there. He didn't want to leave. I mean, he came and he's like, I should have been a Raider my whole career. Should have been a Raider my whole career. And, you know, like I say, he's still there. He's been a defensive back coach, safeties coach. Now he's a cornerbacks coach. Rod Woodson, he's my number 6. All-time Raider free agent. Now we got the top 5 left. Number 10 was Derek Burgess. Number 9 was Zach Crockett. Number 10 was Todd Christensen. 7, Tyrone Wheatley. 6, Rod Woodson. Number 5, George Blanda. Blanda joined the Raiders in '67 after playing 10 years for Chicago and 7 years for Houston. And then the guy basically had a whole nother career in the silver and black. He's etched in Raider lore. He's won games with his foot, with his arm. The guy played into his late 40s. He's a Hall of Famer. I mean, George Blanda was an unbelievable free agent pickup. That's why he was number 5 on my list. Number 4 is another quarterback picked up off the scrap heap. Picked up off the scrap heap and helped us raise 2 Lombardi trophies. One of my personal favorites. I grew up idolizing this guy. Number 16. Jim Plunkett. Jim Plunkett. Hold on, who's this dude? Chris Manti. You think you guys are real true Raiders fans? No, you guys, if you guys were a real team, you would pick up Adrian Peterson. We didn't want that child beater. We don't want that guy on our team. Psst, Chris, somebody needs to take a switch to you. Just like Adrian did his kid. We don't want that child beater on our team. You're out your mind. We went and got a real running back. How many trophies Adrian Peterson helped hoist in Minnesota? How many trophies? None. 0. He's a child beater. We don't want him on our team. Get out of here with that garbage. Psh. Back under your bridge, troll. Back under your bridge. Go crawl back under your bridge. There'll be no trolls up in Raider Reaction because we handle trolls here. block him. Psst. We don't need to block him. Welcome. Welcome. But if you're going to step up in Raider reaction, you better bring the fire. Because that was no fire. That was weak. That was weak. So if you want to step up, you want to step up to the stage, sucker, you better bring the fire. Because if you want to talk smack, bring it. Because I'm ready for it to be brought. But if you ain't going to bring it, then don't come with that weak nonsense. Because that was some weakness. So if you want to step up and you want to bring the fire at the commish, you want to step in my hour, go ahead. I don't need you blocked. I welcome you. Bring it. But don't bring that weak garbage. Oh, you guys should have signed Adrian Peterson. Should have signed Adrian Peterson. Man, that dude's a retread. Alright? We didn't get a retread. We went and signed Beast Mode. Beast Mode just stepped away and took a break. He didn't take a break because his knees are junk. Psh, whatever. Go to the Saints. Go to the Saints where they're a 95% passing team. And they got Mark Ingram in the backfield. He's there to accompany Mark Ingram. He ain't gonna do jack. They know he's busted down. Busted down child beater. Didn't want him. Didn't want him. Nation didn't want him. And we don't need him. Bye, troll. Go back into your bridge. Now, number 3 on the commish. All time. Raiders free agent. Countdown. The GOAT at wide receiver. That's right, JD. We wanted his 1.6 yards a carry. Hold on, is this guy even speaking English? Then you would have stayed home, had a real play, real football, get credit, at least you had your mind. I'm going to need somebody to translate that for me. Because this guy's he must be bringing the fire in like code. Some sort of code with a little decoder ring. Because I can't even understand that. That's not even English. If you're going to bring the fire, make sure I can read it. Alright? Thank you. So, number 3. The GOAT. Jerry Rice. Number 80. We go and get Jerry Rice. He plays 4 seasons with us. Through 2001 to 2004. When we was knocking on the door every single year. A donkey troll. Oh, we got a donkey troll. Oh, who'd you guys go pick up as a running back? You went and picked up Mr. 4 knee surgeries. Mr. held together by tape and bubble gum. Dude, first defensive tackle that leans on Jamal Charles, and he's on the bench. And you're talking to us about going and picking up Peterson? You guys should have went and got Peterson. Because you went and got Bubblegum Boy. That dude's knee's going to get straight folded in. Just when Khalil Mack looks at him wrong. 4. Week 4. I got my money that he will not see the end of week 4. He'll be on the bench. Because that was a dumb move. You want to talk about dumb running back signings? The dumb running back signing was in Donkeyville this season. Wasn't in Oakland, buddy. Wasn't in Oakland. We got beast mode. What'd you get? What'd you get? Rehab mode. You got rehab mode. Psh, what have you? Number 2 on the commish. Top 10 Raider free agents of all time. He started a Raider, but then he left. And then we brought him back as a big, huge influence on a bunch of young kids. Young guys like Derek Carr and Khalil Mack. A young defense. He does not have the fire. He does not have the fire. Assassin Angel has. But we brought this guy back in, and the mark he left on these kids is still being shown today. And that is C. Wood, number 24, Charles Woodson. Number 2, greatest Raider free agent of all time. Why? Because the mark that he left upon his return to the Silver and Black is still being felt. Still living on through Khalil Mack, through Derek Carr, through Amari Cooper, through the guys that are on the team now. That was big. Now, so who's my number one? If you had to pick who is the number one Raiders free agent of all time, who do you think it would be? It's a quarterback. He played for the Vikings, the Chiefs, the Redskins, and then came and played 137 games for the Oakland Raiders. He went to the Pro Bowl in 2001, 2002, won the NFL MVP in 2002, and led us to a Super Bowl. Rich Gannon is the second leading passer in Raiders history. Stats don't lie. Gannon was an unbelievable free agent signing. When he came, he needed a coach that believed in him for the first time. He'd got benched for Elvis Gerbach. He'd never had any respect. And he finally got respect when he came to Oakland. It was unfortunate. The tuck rule, the getting picked up and slammed by Saragusa in another play that was made illegal a year or two later. Rich Gannon took us to the doorstep of greatness for several seasons in a row. And it's just unfortunate and bad luck that he never got to raise the trophy. But to me, Rich Gannon is the number one Raiders free agent signing of all time. Now, this list could completely change with what Beast Mode does this season. Marshawn Lynch could end up being the greatest Raider free agent of all time. There's a distinct possibility that that could happen. If he helps put together back-to-back Super Bowls just by adding him as the cherry on top of an already potent offense with all the free agents that we'd already added. It's possible. It's possible. This team is... You just look across the offense. Every time I look across the offense, it just makes me drool. And now when I start to look at the defense and all the young talent that we added on the defensive side of the ball, it's just making me drool as well. Oh, this team is just... We're built for greatness, guys. We are built for greatness this season. Randolph, checking in from Tennessee. What's up, Randolph? Built for greatness. Now, we do have a couple battles on the offense that are very interesting. Hold on. Just give it a brother and a half. It's going to be the Broncos. You know it's the Broncos going to back to the Super Bowl and win it. Okay. Chris, you think Trevor Siemian's going to take you to the Super Bowl? Siemian. You guys go out and with your first overall pick, you take an offensive lineman to protect for who? To block for who? Jamal Charles? So Siemian and Jamal Charles, the dynamic duo is going to lead you guys to the Super Bowl. Get out of here, man. I know it's legal in Colorado because you're obviously smoking it, bro. You are obviously smoking it. Because there is no way that bubblegum and tape knees Jamal Charles behind your rookie offensive lineman and your garbage quarterback. And come on, man. Get out of here. You got a good defense. You got your Super Bowl. Alright? You got your Super Bowl. You pulled it out of the dead arm of Peyton Manning. You got your Super Bowl. Off your defense. But you're not getting another one. Enjoy what you got. Alright? But let's live in reality here. I live in reality. I don't live in little La La Land, Colorado. Okay? I live in reality. This isn't Donkeyville. What you're talking is madness. Nobody, not even me, not just me, but nobody, none of the talking heads are predicting the Donkeys anywhere better than third in your division. Nobody, not a single expert, not a single person predicts the Donkeys besides anywhere but at best third. Third. The only other team that anybody's talking about winning the AFC West is possibly the Chiefs. And then they're saying the Raiders are going to grab the wild card at worst. We're one of the top odds in Vegas, where Chris is just, I feel sorry for the guy, I guess. I feel sorry for him, because, I mean, he's just one of those guys you just want to pat him on the head and walk away and be like, it's alright, buddy. It's alright. It's alright, Chris. It's alright. I'm just going to pat you on the head and walk away, Chris, because I really feel sorry for you. Because if you're that delusional, then, man, maybe you're just smoking it for the medicinal purposes, Chris, because maybe it's because it's medicinal for you, because your brain isn't working properly. You think Trevor Siemian and Jamal Charles are going to lead you guys to the Super Bowl? That's interesting. Randolph's like, this dude's just crazy. Don't be blaming the herb. He's just crazy. Man. Wow. I don't believe I've ever had a donkey jump up in here. That was interesting. Like I said, I don't need anybody banned. If you want to jump up in Raider Reaction, that's fine. But I'm telling you, bring the fire, have your shit correct, and don't be bringing some bogus weakness that we can't even read, Chris. That I have to have translators. I have to go back to Facebook later and hit the translate button to even understand half of what you were saying in there. It's just good that I can kind of read between the lines, and I have some slow friends, so, you know, I'm used to reading their Facebook posts, so yours fit right in. But next time, if you're going to step up to the plate, make sure you step up and swing strong. We don't need no weakness here on Raider Reaction. I bring the fire, and I expect it from you as well. Thank you, donkey. So, in this show out with my WTH. My WTH for today, besides the donkey fan and Raider Reaction that makes me go, what the hell? My other WTH is Mark Cuban. Now why does this guy have to be the resident a-hole for the rich folk? Like, hey, if you guys need a really rich guy to come on, then, hey, I'll come on and be the resident a-hole. On any subject. If ESPN, NFL Network, any one of the sports channels needs a resident jerk to come on to give the rich guy perspective, they'll call up Mark Cuban on speed dial. So, they get Mark Cuban on to talk about the Raiders coming to Vegas. And he thinks it's a bad idea. He thinks it's a small and transient market. You know, he says, and I quote, the NFL is chasing every last dollar, and that's going to tend to backfire. Thinks it's a bad idea. Thought we should have never went to Vegas. So here we got Mr. Resident Billionaire A-hole again. They needed somebody to stick up there and talk, and now we got this guy giving his 2 cents. You know what, man? Worry about your Mavs. Where are they at? Ain't nobody talking about those guys. Why don't you worry about them and what they're doing? Don't worry about us. Nobody asked you, Mark Cuban. Nobody asked you at all. Just because you got money and you own a basketball team, we don't care what you think about football. I could care less. Keep it to yourself. What the hell? Oh. Man, I'm glad to be back. I missed being with you guys yesterday, but my son was being born, so obviously I'm going to be there. But I'm glad to be back. Missed one night, and I'll be here tomorrow. Because of my schedule shift, we're going to move Ghost of the Post with Prime and the Commish to Thursday. Touch on all the league news then. All of the Raider Reaction webcasts are archived on my YouTube channel. It's pinned at the top of Raider Reaction Facebook page. Hardcore Challenge Live Studio webcasts. So, go subscribe. You can check out all the old flavor there. Everything else. All the games from last year, the live coverage, all the stuff from the games, everything up. That was fun. I enjoyed having a little toddler donkey fan try to step up in Raider Reaction. Gonna bring some little spark to the commish. Bring your fire next time. If you want to step up, donkey fan, bring your fire. See you later, Assassin Angel Eyes. But like I said, thank you all for joining me. Sorry I started a little late, but I literally just got here less than an hour before we were released from the hospital. Came straight, brought the new boy home, right to you guys, right to Raider Nation. In case you missed it, at the beginning, I brought the little guy on. So after I post this, if you want to go back in the first 5 minutes, I brought my new little son on the show and showed him to y'all. So you got a nice little sneak peek of my new little guy. Thanks for showing up, man. Thanks for joining me on a Tuesday night. Hope to see you guys tomorrow night. I'll be back here bringing the fire again. Time to throw it to the West Coast. Infamous Raider Bear. Going deep. Taking it for 6. I'm out of here. Peace. Love. Raider Nation.